Ooh, so you got the flip going, huh?
Yeah, we got
Cool.
the flip going.
All right.
Hi, I'm Andy Flores with Team Presscom. We're here with Geoff Herbach
Hello.
today, and we are doing the Leech quiz.
Okay.
All right, one. If you can remember, not a lot of people do, who taught you to read?
Oh, definitely my mom taught me to read. My mother was an English teacher, and I think about 4 she started really working me into reading. So yeah, I can remember looking at picture books and reading next to my mother.
2. As a fiction writer or a writer, do you agree with Einstein's claim that imagination is more important than knowledge?
Yes. Certainly. I mean, you know, knowledge is there, and we all stand on it. But if we're going to come up with solutions, we need imagination. So imagination is the key, definitely.
3. If you could see any book adapted into a film right now, what would it be?
Any book adapted into a film? Ooh, that's a good question. Man, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
people pause on this all the time? Well, I mean, I've just seen a graphic novelization of a book by Ben Percy called Refresh that I could really see as a great movie. So I'm going to go with that, but I think there are about 700 books that I would like to see adapted so that I could rage about how they got it wrong.
Okay. 4. What was your favorite storybook as a kid?
Favorite storybook as a kid? This is really dorky, but I like The Little Engine That Could, and I read it over and over and over again, and it made me cry, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. 5. If you handed me your iPod right now, what would be on your most frequently played list?
The King of Carrot Flowers by Neutral Milk Hotel. Neutral Milk Hotel is the band that I listen to the most right now, and it's like a 10-year-old album, but I can't stop listening to it.
Okay. 7. Sorry, that's not 7. Okay. 6. Who was your hero when you were a kid, and who is your hero now?
When I was a kid, my hero was a football player named Earl Campbell. Yeah, he was a brute. I've changed since then. My hero now, George Saunders, the author. I love him. He's just a great humanitarian.
What comes to you as inspiration in your writing?
Could you repeat that again?
What comes to you as inspiration when you're writing?
What comes to me as inspiration?
Yeah.
Voices. I write, of course, in first person, and I just hear a voice, and the voice is what excites me and what makes me want to tell a story.
What do you plan to accomplish with your writing?
I would like to make the world nicer. That's all.
What was the first book that moved you?
First book that moved me.
Yes, and why?
I think the first book that really moved me was probably The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That's the one I remember reading that I just like inhabited the planet. I inhabited the universe, and I wanted to be there. And it roughed me up emotionally and made me want to read all the time.
Okay. And here's an FAQ for you. Do you have any advice to any aspiring writers out there?
Yeah. It's hard to write, and if you feel like you're bad but you have an inclination to write, definitely keep at it, because being a good writer is about coming into your own as a human being. So you just have to keep writing and writing and writing, and eventually that right story comes out. So just keep at it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the Leech quiz for ATBF 2011, and hopefully we'll see you next year.
All right. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.